So what is smooth? What do you think when you think of smooth? Well, I think of soft ice cream, silk fabric, a slow winding river through the mountains. And that's because I think smooth is something that isn't rough, has no edges, and is going along the lines of natural path. What is not smooth is something abrupt, something violent, something that is asking to be tense. Now, we don't want to be tense, but of course we need to tense our muscles, but only at the right time. If we tense our muscles or do movements that don't align with the natural path of the body or the natural path of the force we create, it's not smooth anymore. And I think follow through is the key to being smooth, because following through means letting things happen the natural way when they need to happen. I think the best example of following through smoothly is Bradley Williams. He is, of course, known as the Professor Smooth just because he is so damn smooth. He isn't throwing that far. I mean, he throws a mile. He throws as far as you need to throw, but he's never going maximum distance. And I think he sacrifices some of the power for being a little bit smoother and more accurate. And you should do that too. I mean, the champ himself, Ken Climo, once said, "Learn control before power." And that's exactly what you need to do. After you've learned how to be smooth and you learn how to control the disc, you can, by all means, try to be more powerful as you can. But first, we need to learn how to be smooth, and we started by learning how to follow through, and then you can work from that. To follow through, I haven't touched this subject enough, I think. Because for me, following through means only letting things happen the natural way. But if you don't know what is the natural way, then of course you cannot follow through the natural way. For me, following through the natural way means that as we throw, especially backhand, this applies to forehand too, when we throw backhand, we don't do abrupt movements. We don't do this when we throw, because that pulls the disc away from the natural line of the power, but instead we need to follow the disc. It may sound or may feel like you're actually pushing the disc, and this is something I actually have thought about a lot. When I started making videos in Finland, in Finnish, I talked about pushing the disc, and a lot of people made fun of it because pushing the disc goes against your intuition. Well, of course it goes against your intuition, but that's like more of a thought pattern behind the movement. Because when you're pulling the disc, you tend to think that you do it with the upper body and you pull the disc like this. Well, if you think about pushing the disc, you actually get behind the disc and your throw looks like this, which is correct. Now, if you look at Bradley Williams, no matter the angle of the release or the flight path, he always gets behind the disc. If you see the hyzer shot here, he really puts the leg down and lets the left side of his body, the offside, follow through. The same line the shot started. He keeps the angle of the body and goes through the same line as the disc. The same with the straight shot. Of course, he's standing a little bit more upright, but does the exact same thing. With anhyzers, it's a little bit different. You have to think about pushing forward and then try to mimic the actual shape of the shot. The same thing anyway. You go along the lines of the disc and you don't stop abruptly, because all jerky movements take you away from being smooth, okay? It reduces the smoothness. That rhymes by accident. So how to practice being smooth? When you throw, whether it's a standstill, whether it's a full X-step, whether it's a anhyzer, hyzer, straight, whatever the shot, as you throw, try to go after the shot. Now this is the first phase. Of course you don't throw like this when you get better at it, but as you throw, follow very pronouncedly. Throw there, follow through. You do this. You throw and you follow through. This teaches your body to avoid these kind of movements, because now you're actually staying behind the brace and pushing forward like you're bowling. If you bowl, it's so easy to understand because you have a heavy thing here. You cannot lift it here. You won't do any of this kind of movements because you want to hit the lane. So basically you're only bowling, you're letting the body follow through. This is the through movement. It's not this. Same goes with disc golf. It's not this. It's actually this. As you get better at following through, you can start bracing more abruptly. Again, if you want to be hyper smooth, you don't think about bracing that much. But if you want to gain a lot of distance, you need to also start bracing. And I think Bradley isn't after maximum distance ever. He's after being smooth, after being accurate, and after being repeatable. But if you want an absolute maximum distance, you should brace, and only after the disc has left and goes there somewhere, then you can follow through. If you see from my shot a couple of months ago, I do the same. I brace, I drop my body, and I follow through, and only after I gain balance, I step through. But first, you need to learn how to be controlled, how to learn how your body moves, how to let go of all jerky movements and unnecessary tension. Because remember, tension, when it shouldn't happen, takes away the smooth. And we want to be smooth. We want everything to be relaxed, and only at the right time, a little bit of tension, and then we let go. Good luck.